For the factoring and multiplying binomials activity, or our FOIL activity, we can print up these PDFs and cut them out if you would like to do the matching, or you can just scratch them out or match them online as you go. You will need to be writing down your work so that you can provide a picture of it. You can go about this by factoring or by using FOIL. I'm going to do an example of each to remind you. When you factor, that's when you're going to use the snowflake, and your answer is going to end up in parentheses. We're going to have two sets of parentheses next to each other. All of these are already in the correct format of ax squared plus bx plus c. And we like that format because we have our a, b, and c values that we're going to need. So out to the side, we're going to write down a, b, and c. Our a is the number in front of the x squared, so that's just our 2. Our b value is a positive 5. And our c value is not 18 because there is a negative here, so it's going to be a negative 18. We're going to come down and we're going to use our snowflake. The snowflake is located on your supplemental aid sheet if you need it. This is A times C. The top is a picture of an air conditioning unit. Then a B at the bottom. And then our axes on those top corners. So we are going to now use our A, B, and C values and fill it in. We need A times C. 2 times negative 18 will be a negative 36. Our B value at the bottom is where we just take that 5. And then our AX is where we take our A value of 2 and put it next to an X, like this. These bottom sections right here that I'm going to be highlighting in this green color are the numbers that we are going to have to come up with. We need numbers that multiply together to give us that negative 36, but that combine to give us 5. So if you're stuck, we can start a list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's going to help us with our multiplication and our combining. For now, I'm going to ignore the negative, and I'm just going to try to get up to 36. If you don't know 1 times what is 36, you can use your Desmos, and you can do 36 divided by all of these numbers in that first column, and that will give you the answers that I'm about to come up with. 1 times 36 is 36. 2 times 18 is 36. 3 times 12 is 36. 4 times 9 is 36. And 5 won't work evenly, so we're just going to cross it off. Now, because this is a negative, that means that we need a positive times a negative to get that answer. So that means we need different signs. So when I'm combining, I'm actually going to subtract, because when I have different signs, we subtract. So I'm looking over here at my list, and I'm going to write myself a note that I'm going to subtract these values. And the larger one needs to be positive because this 5 here is a positive. So if I change this 36 here, actually we're going to change that 1 to a negative like this. So if I combine these, and now that's like subtracting 36 minus our 1, or negative 1 plus 36, that's not going to give us 5. So that one's out. If we do the same thing, and again, if you know that you're supposed to subtract, you wouldn't put those signs in. 18 minus 2 is 16. That's not 5. Or again, if you know that one of them is going to be a positive and one of them is going to be a negative, you can just type that in on Desmos without the multiplication sign in the middle, and you'll also get 16 that way. That's not 5. Oh, undo. And then we're going to do the same thing with our 3 and our 12. 12 minus 3 is not 5. And here we go. 9 minus 4 is going to be 5. So I'm going to use that 4, and the 4 needs to be a negative, and the 9 is a positive. And let's double check. Negative 4 times 9 is going to be negative 36. And when you combine negative 4 and 9, you also get that positive 5. So now what we're going to do is we are going to see if we can simplify right here. And yes, we can. We can divide each of these by 2. So we're going to have divided by 2 right here like this. And we have 1x. And when we divide that one by 2, we get a negative, that's not a negative 1, that's a negative 2 right here. And then on this other side, we're going to see if we can reduce this, and we can't. So now when we bring it down here to our parentheses, we have 1x, which I can write just like this, minus 2. And then we have 2x, and then a 9, and we need to say that that 9 is a positive 9. You're now going to go look in these answer choices for that answer. And when you find it, you're going to drag it into this box right here next to number 17, which is the one that we did together. That's how you factor. Now we're going to do an example where we FOIL. So I'm actually going to start with the answer choices, and I'm going to pick answer A to start off with. And when you FOIL, you're going to start off with this x, and then you're going to go across this middle section, and when you do, remember that means multiply. So we're going to multiply by both things in this other set of parentheses. So x times x is x squared. X times a negative 9 is negative 9x. And we're finished multiplying by that x, so now we're going to switch and we're going to go with this positive 2. And again, we're going to go across this middle section where I multiply, parentheses right next to each other means multiply, and I'm going to multiply it by both things in the other set of parentheses. So 2 times x is going to be a positive 2x. And then we have 2 times a negative 9, and that's going to be a negative 18. Then we're going to need to combine like terms. These pieces with x's right here are like terms. So I have x squared and my negative 18 that are not going to change. And in the middle, if I have negative 9x's plus 2x's, you can type in on your Desmos negative 9 plus 2. That's going to give you a negative 7x. So you can go in, and now for choice A, you're actually finding the question that goes with it. So for this one, I'm looking for x squared minus 7x minus 18, and that actually is the first one. These do not go all the way in order. It's not A, B, C all the way down. It just happens that number 1 is A. How can you check yourself to make sure that you got it right? You can get a 100 on this activity by making sure that when you type this in, you're going to get a parabola. And when you type in your answer, you're going to get another parabola, and you know that it is equal because they are going to match. They're going to line up perfectly. And you're going to continue to choose either for each question here, and everything will match up. You will need to, for some of these questions, upload a picture of your work. So either take a picture of it with your camera or your phone, and if you need help with that, we have a document right here with some instructions. After you have saved it, you're going to upload your file.